Hola, just waiting a moment to make sure that we're live, that we're connected out on the internet, live from Fruits Restaurant Juice Bar here in sunny Costa Rica. I'm here with my colleague Jean-Paul. I have decided that it's muy importante, it's very important that I start to introduce all of our viewers to my staff in the kitchen. And you know what? I'm so new to this Facebook Live. I'm just seeing that I can see how many people are actually live with it up in the corner there. So right now, okay, I'm seeing the numbers go up. So hi again, welcome. This is Meg, live from Fruits in Rythmia. And this is Jean-Paul, otra vez. I've decided I want to start introducing more of my amazing kitchen staff in all Facebook Lives, because so often guests come here and they're always saying, "Oh, Meg, the food is great, your food. And I'm like, dude, no, I have an amazing, amazing team that helps me with all of this stuff. So I want to give them the props that they deserve. I just realized my framing for this live doesn't really suit Jean-Paul because he's a little bit tall. So I'm going to start to bring in, maybe every week I'll bring in one of my amazing staffers from the kitchen in the restaurant so I can introduce them to the world, because they're an integral part of what we do here at Roots in nourishing all of the beautiful souls that come through here. And I've got my other colleague, Kenneth, here, who's off to the side, who I'm going to also call in, and he's going to stick around with me. You're going to stay with me this time. And he's bringing in a missing ingredient that I forgot, because we're talking Costa Rican cuisine today. So why would I do this on my own? Doesn't make sense, because I'm just still super learning about this and about all of these amazing ingredients. So Kenneth, bilingual, amazing. He's great. He can speak to all of the ingredients for us, understand me, and I can understand him fully. And Jean-Paul is amazing. You speak habla muy bien inglés también, ¿verdad? No mucho, pero super bien. Ciao. So we're gonna do the little triple tag team here. I gotta let this guy go home shortly because he's been here since 6 a.m., but he's gonna demo our first ingredient of the day. So as I mentioned, we're talking Costa Rican Rico.
Rico.
All of a few of the amazing ingredients that we have here in Costa Rica and how we can use them, because I'm sure that you've probably seen many of the ingredients in your international food aisle or produce section. If you have big supermarkets and you're from a big city, or if not, you've probably seen a lot of the ingredients or maybe aren't sure how to use them. So the very first thing we're going to do, and then we're going to let this fellow head home, is we're going to talk about our coconut water. Here at Rythmia, on offer at all times is an unlimited supply of fresh coconut water. And I know when I was living in North America, I really enjoyed coconut water, but I always tended to have to buy it out of a carton or a can or something like that. And it didn't really taste necessarily the best. I mean, there are a lot of great brands out there now, but there's nothing that beats straight from the coconut. So here in Costa Rica, we call these young coconuts, this young green coconut. I'm fluid kiss because I love it that much. It's a pipa. We call it pipa here, which is like when you ask for a glass of coconut water from young coconut, you ask for pipa. So this is what we're just gonna demo it today, so that everyone back home and everyone that's been here can see that this is like the grueling process that we go through every day. We fill up like gallons and gallons and gallons of this stuff to offer our guests the most fresh coconut water every single day. So Jean-Paul's gonna demo it for us using just a machete. I remember when I bought my first machete here in Costa Rica, I thought I needed to be really badass, and I bought like one that was like this long. And I didn't know how to man that thing. It was a danger. It was a menace to society with that thing. So we got a nice little bit more safe. Whoa, that was me stuttering, not the video. One that's a little bit safer to be using in the kitchen here. So this is the machete, and this is how we get into all of our coconuts here. To get your fresh coconut water. So I'm going to have him demo it because I'm a klutz and I've already cut myself once today and burnt myself in the oven. So Jean-Paul is our king and he's going to do it for us. And he's just cutting. Here, hold on. I just realized I didn't do a very good setup here. You got to be able to see the process here. So he's just cutting around the end here, and he's using this end. In case you ever find these at your store and you want to do it at home, he's just cutting around. And then trimming right in the middle here to find, and then it spits out a little bit. So you gotta, sometimes goggles are a good thing. And then after that, we're gonna show you how the opening is. And it's the perfect opening if you have a reusable glass straw or a metal straw. You stick the straw in there and you can sip right out of the coconut, or you can just do what we're doing here and we're just pouring it. And this is the absolute best coconut water you can drink in the world. Can I have that for a second? I'm gonna show you again. If you're doing it at home, be careful with the machete. this is how we did it here. And you can see in here as well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. Maybe I'm going to cut it open afterwards. These coconuts are pretty rad because they have some really delicious young coconut meat inside that I love to use for various things. So I use it to make coconut yogurt, which is a recipe that I can share. I mean, I can do it right now. It's super easy. I take a bit of the coconut meat, throw it in a blender, a high-powered blender, crack open a couple of vegan probiotics if you are following a vegan diet or any other probiotics that you want. Blend that up, and then I usually just put it in a glass bowl, cover it with a tea towel, and put it on top of my fridge overnight. Woo! To just let it culture a little bit, and then you've got a really nice fresh coconut yogurt, and then store it in your fridge after that. You can make coconut milk with it because this coconut meat is so young and tender. You could just blend that right up, and you probably wouldn't even need to strain it. And then you have homemade coconut milk, super good. You could add in some vanilla and a pinch of sea salt for a little bit more flavor. Also, you could slice it up to make noodles, like into long, thin strands. Yeah, let's see. Here we go. He's going to cut it right open. Woo-hoo-hoo! That's me every time. Okay, so this one, the meat's a little bit younger here. Thank you. Magic hands off scene, giving me a spoon so I can scoop out the flesh. And all I'm doing here now is I'm just running my spoon along the inside. And this is almost more like a jelly in this particular coconut, super young. You can see the texture of it. So delicious. I'm going to take a little nibble of that myself because it's irresistible. Yeah. So good. So I was saying you could slice this up into like thin noodles would be. And we're back. I think we were just off the internet for a minute there. So back to the coconut meat. So I was saying you can slice it into noodles and use that in like a pad thai or as a base to any sort of pasta that you want. And also really great vegan ceviche. I was just talking about that with some guests yesterday. I'd slice it up into little chunks like you would fish. Add in lemon juice, some red pepper, some red onion, maybe ginger ale. That's what we do here in Costa Rica quite often. We add in ginger ale into the ceviche. It's super, super delicious. So that's our little lesson on pipa, young coconut. So muchísimas gracias, Yoko. He's a machine, and I gotta let him go home, and we're gonna continue on with some more ingredients. Listo. Maybe leave this for me. Maybe else para mi yuca, tal vez. maybe we're gonna go. Ciao. Hasta mañana. All right. So moving along here, we're going to get into a few more ingredients, and I think the next one I'm going to talk about is the chayote. Everything is covered in a little bit of a coconut water splatter, and it seemed to meet with me already. I'm going to have to get his attention to come back. I think he's busy with some guests, but that's fine. So the next ingredient we talk about is chayote. I remember when I was still living in Toronto, I used to see this funny vegetable, and I had no idea what it was, never bought it, never tried it, and I'm a food adventurer, but this one just seemed really weird to me, so I never bought it. And it comes in this lighter green as well as a darker green, almost like a forest green, a little bit darker than, say, outside of this coconut. It's called chayote. And here, what it's often used for is in a dish called picadillo, which is kind of a slow simmered dish of different mixed vegetables. Quite often it's carrot and onion and sometimes zucchini and the chayote sliced up. What I've gone ahead and done today is I just steamed it a little bit. And it's a funny texture. It's kind of a moist, I wouldn't even know. Like if you boil a cucumber for a moment, but it's a little bit more texture to it. And it's really, really tasty. It's mild flavors. So you can use it in a lot of ways. I quite often grate it raw into salads. Most typically here in Costa Rica, it's cooked. It mashes really nicely. There's many different ways you can go about using it. So I really just want to show you guys this and say, give it a try. Buy it. Don't be afraid of it. I eat the skin. Sometimes a lot of people want to peel it. And when you do deal with it raw, just be careful because if you do peel it, the skin, the flesh can be a little bit slippery, so it can get a little bit slippy in your hands. So just be careful when you're cutting it with your knife or your machete. I wouldn't recommend cutting a chayote on a machete. So check it out. Google chayote recipes, and there'll be a million different ones on the internet that you guys can try. So that's one ingredient to try. The next one is the yuca root, or cassava, or what else can we call it? Yuca, yeah, cassava. It's the same as like tapioca, then. So I'm sure a lot of people have heard of tapioca pudding, tapioca starch. It comes from a root like this. And this is super popular here. It's super popular in Central and South America. It's kind of interchangeable, like it's the potato of Latin America. And this was another ingredient that I saw all the time in Toronto that I never really utilized. And now that I'm here, I love it to pieces. So I'm going to show you quickly how you prep it for use, and then we'll talk a bit about how to cook it after doing that, and then I'm going to show you the final product. So quite often you'll see at the grocery store, especially, I mean, here, I don't know if they do it so much in North America, but before people buy it, there's usually a knife or someone standing by with a knife that will cut it open, because these things can be rotten pretty quickly. And if this is a good one. You can see that it's clear and white in the center. Quite often you'll do that, you'll cut it open and it'll be all like veins of black, which is not ideal. That means it's going a little bit off. So I would, like when I buy it now, I chop it up in 3 different pieces. If I was going to buy a piece like this, I'd chop it into 3 pieces to see. So I chop up both my ends. This end is good as well. And then I'm going to chop just 1 piece to work with today. I didn't pick the right, I should have used the machete because I didn't pick the right knife for this project today. And we can see in here, super good as well. So the way to get the skin off of here, this is super duper, like, I don't know if you can hear that. I don't even know where to look for this Facebook Live. I'm looking at my image and not looking at the camera. Anyway, super hard, duro in Costa Rican in Spanish. And it's super waxy. It's got a wax coating on the outside as well, typically. So the way to get into this bad boy is chop off your ends, and then take your knife and kind of hammer it just so that you can get your blade is, what am I doing here? So your blade is just piercing into the white flesh. Because underneath the brown waxy flesh, there's another kind of a thick waxy layer. You want to get right through all of that. And then you just kind of slip your knife under it and just kind of lift it from the side. And then when you do that, it's going to help you start to peel it off. And it kind of peels off. And you can see that this is like a pink, thick layer. We want to get rid of that as well. And then you can either use your fingers or a little bit easier, just be careful. Use your knife to just keep underneath that skin, peeling it off all the way around. Da, 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 da. Helps to sing while you do it, especially if you're alone in the kitchen. And what you left off is this. This is super delicious, starchy tuber. One of the ways I like to prepare it the most is I'll slice it into kind of thick wedges, like so. And then I'll toss it in a pot of water with a little bit of salt. Friend that used to cook this with me often used to throw in a bit of sugar as well to sweeten it up, even though it's pretty sweet. It's a pretty starchy vegetable. And then boil it until just fork tender. And it becomes a little bit, I don't know, flaky, I guess, like a bit of a flaky texture. And what I really love, my favorite way to use it is to make yuca fries, yuca garlic fries, actually. So what I do, magic of television. This isn't television, magic of the internet. Magic of I did this before we went live, so it's done, so it's not really magic at all. What I do is I just chop up a bunch of garlic and fry it in coconut oil. And then toss the cooked, once this is cooked through and it's like al dente, I toss my yuca in there and just let it get nice and golden brown with the garlic and the coconut oil and super, super yum. And then transfer that to a plate and serve with the nacho cheese that we made. Was that last week that we made the nacho cheese, Kenneth? We made the nacho vegan cheese last week. So the nacho cheese that we made in last week's live is the best thing in the world with this. Kenneth, come and have a taste of this, will you? Come over here. He doesn't want to be on the live for some reason. He keeps standing over beside the camera. Try that.
Sorry for you guys.
So garlic yuca fries with the vegan nacho cheese dip. Super good. Oh, take that. Show me. So he just pulled something out of his mouth, and it's not like he had a hair in his food. It's because in the center of the yuca, the piece of the yuca, there's a bit of a stringy center. Not the best texture. You can eat it. It's a little bit stringy. So that's what he just pulled out. Maybe I can demo it on those pieces. Tasty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Can I get it? One. Of course, I'm not going to be. Anyways, try it at home and you'll see. There's a little. Here we go. This is like it's just a little stringy center, and it runs down the middle of the yuca. You can eat it. You can wash your teeth with it. Thanks, Kenneth, for being my taste tester. I've already ate like 10 of these as I was cooking them, so I'm good for it for now. So, as you can see, there's more on this plate than just the yuca and the nacho. Around on this side, we've got another fruit. It would be a fruit. It's the palm fruit. It's called pejibayes, which I just discovered last year. I might be saying that wrong, and I apologize. I'm going to type all the names of these in the spelling. But it is another tropical fruit here in Costa Rica. It's from the palm tree. It's from the same tree that makes hearts of palm. And it's in season only certain times of the year. And it's super delicious, and I just discovered it. So it looks kind of like a cross between an acorn and a persimmon. but it's super duper hard. So these fruits you actually have to boil for about 3 to 5 hours before you eat them. It's a local Costa Rican favorite. It's in a lot of the big supermarkets. You'll see them. They're actually sitting in warm water that they stay in, and people come and they take out how many they want and buy them warm like that. Super delicious. I love them. Super nutrient dense, super high energy. And the way I like to do it is I like to just cut off the top. I cut it into the little halves, and there's a little pit in the middle, a little black pit, which I was informed by a friend, also Costa Rican, that you can cut that open if you're very careful, which we're going to try right now. I'm not going to actually risk that. You can cut it open on the inside. It's like a white, thick, really hard, almost like coconut. It looks like hard, like aged coconut on the inside that you can eat as well, and it is delicious. I have eaten it. What I like to do is I just cut them open like that and peel off the skin, and then I put on like mashed avocado, or I would dip it in my nacho cheese dip, or what they quite often do here is serve it with mayonnaise. So this is just fresh, regular mayonnaise. Make your own, because we're all about intuitive eating and balance, and there's no off-limit food. So a little bit of mayonnaise with your pejilai, awesome. A little bit of lime juice in that would be super good as well. So that's the pejilai, the palm tree fruit. Not sure you'll be able to find those very easily in North America. I never saw them in any of my grocery stores, but you can buy them in the can if you ever want to try them. Or just come down to Costa Rica. Pura vida. So moving on, let's talk about patacones. Now this is something I had on the buffet today here at Rythmia, a little homage to today's Facebook Live. And what patacones are, they are typically a twice fried green plantain. So the ingredient we're going to feature is the plantain. Another ingredient, I know that you've probably seen this oh wow, stuttering again, in the produce aisle at your grocery store. This is more of a green one. This is more slightly ripe. And we serve plantains 2 different ways here at Rythmia. The riper plantains are super sweet, and the way that it's part of the typical Costa Rican breakfast, gallo pinto. If you've been to Costa Rica, you'll know about it. A typical breakfast contains gallo pinto, which is a rice and bean dish, scrambled eggs, usually, or fried eggs, fried plantains. So this amazing fruit. It looks like a banana, but I mean it's from the same family, but it's a lot starchier, not really edible raw. But this is what it looked. This is more of a ripe plantain. The darker the better. Like I would wait till this is pretty much black on the outside before I would use it. And I like to just slice it up into little rounds or strips. It looks just like a banana, and I like to just gently fry it in a little bit of coconut oil and cinnamon. It's super tasty. It's usable in many ways. I make raw plantain tortillas with it, just in the food processor with a bit of red onion, some red pepper, some salt, maybe some garlic. Process the heck out of it, and then I put it on my dehydrator sheet and make them. It's like a really beautiful, soft textured tortilla. Many different ways we can use the plantain. I could probably do a whole class on it. Then we can start talking about the green. And so this is the green plantain that we're going to use to make our patacones. So again, just going to cut a section off here. And what I would do, and what we did today, is we did this with about 25 to 30 of these guys. Again, it's hard. When it's green, it's super hard to get the peel off. So it's kind of like the yuca, where you just kind of get your knife in there. And you can use your hands here to get the skin off the outside. And you can hear it's like ripping fabric almost because it's so unripe. But you need the green plantain for making the patacones. So there's our raw green plantain. And what I would do with this, to make it the most delicious, is I would toss it in some, like a deep fryer. Like get your best possible food quality oil going. I would use coconut oil. And just get it fried. And fry it up to the point where it is, somewhat soft. This is a fried one that we did earlier. So it's a little bit dark in color, a little bit softer. You can see, again, tons of recipes for this online. And this is what I'm going to use. So the next thing we need to do with this cooked plantain, so this is our raw one. You can see the color difference. This is our cooked one. And I usually use a glass dish. I'm going to try it with my pan here from my yuca. What the idea is oops. Yeah. See, it's not warm anymore. But let's imagine that it was still warm. Do this when it's still warm. And that beautiful plantain mashes into this beautiful, kind of like a pancake, a patacone. So, you could eat it right like this. The texture's not as great. So then what I do here at Rythmia is we throw this onto a baking sheet and we bake it with just a little spritz of oil and salt. And then you could put any other seasonings on it. If you want to do a curry or cinnamon to make it a little bit sweeter, or garlic powder, or you can do whatever you want. And then bake it or just do another quick fry to give the outside a really good crisp. And it's kind of like a chip. And this is something that's really great served with avocados, guacamole. You could serve it with a nacho cheese dip, serve it with any kind of dip you want. And it's just really tasty, super good for you to starch. And I'm pretty sure this is probably just like a green banana where it's like more of a resistant starch if you eat it when it's green like this. It's going to have less of an impact on your insulin, especially with the fat. It's going to balance out a little bit when you're deep frying it in coconut oil. So that's our patacones. Next ingredient. I mean, I couldn't talk about Costa Rica and not bring up this bad boy. Is that backwards? Linzano. This is a condiment. I don't use condiments like this in my kitchen here at Rythmia, but this is a Costa Rican staple, and I was obsessed with it after my first visit here. Apparently, the story about this dressing comes along with the lines of there was a fellow in San Jose, Costa Rica. He was, I can't remember what his original recipes that he worked at creating, but after Lee and Pear and his Worcestershire sauce showed up in Costa Rica and everyone fell in love with it, he decided he wanted to make his own version. So we created this one. So it's like a sweet, savory, put it on everything kind of dressing. It's available you can order it online. The first time I came to Costa Rica, I brought home like liters of it because it was so delicious. Super great with the gallo pinto I was telling you about. Great with any traditional savory Costa Rican meal. Super tasty. Just wanted to mention it because I would be shamed by my staff if I didn't mention it because it's super good on everything. Next, carambola, star fruit. I mean, what else do I need to explain? It's a fruit that looks like a star. But I'll cut it open so you can see. Super tart, sweet when it's riper, so delicious. It grows here on trees like crazy. When it is in season, they grow like nuts. When is star fruit season?
Mostly summertime.
Our summertime, which is not
December to July.
Now. December to July is summertime. Right now we're in our rainy season, aka our winter, September, October, November. So really, this here is an unripe one, super green. You don't want to eat it, really. This is getting there, but you kind of want it pretty brown and wrinkly in order for when you want to eat it. So this is the star fruit. You can probably get that. I mean, and keep in mind, I'm telling you about all these ingredients, and if you buy them, say, in Canada, the flavor is not going to be nearly as incredible as it is here. You know what it is. Like, it's like for me to order a pear or an apple, plums or peaches here in Costa Rica. I know they're going to be shipped down here, so the flavor is not going to be that great. And I'm not going to use them. Why would I? Because I have all of this abundance. But I encourage you, if you want to try this stuff, do it, and just know that if you have it here, the flavor is going to be like fantastic. So the carambola or star fruit, super good. And that's just a really pretty thing to add to any dessert plate or breakfast plate, because, I mean, come on, it's so pretty. So pretty. Next fruit we have here is, Kenneth?
Eso se llama...
boom, 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 boom. This is not maracuyá.
No, eso es...
This is some passion fruit, ¿verdad?
Sí.
So it's passion fruit. There's two that we don't have any maracuyá. Carambola is esa.
No,
I'm putting them on the spot. So this is passion fruit. And here in Costa Rica, we have the orange skin one, which is passion fruit, which I'm going to cut open. And on the inside, it's all these beautiful golden black jelly seeds. So good. And we also have maracuyá, which is yellow on the outside and more orange jelly with the seeds.
More sour.
More sour as well, yeah. So this is really great to just eat right out of the fruit. I think in North America, I recall the passion fruit had a purple skin. So maybe that's a whole different, or there's just a different member of the same family. But super good. And the thing about these fruits as well is this one is kind of pretty ripe, but you really want it to get to the point where the skin is starting to pucker and like almost indent in on itself. And then you know it's good and ripe and really tasty. And this is really good raw. It's really good layered into parfaits. It's really good added to your smoothie. It gives a nice texture because you eat the seeds and everything. You're not just going to you're not going to try to just get all flesh out from all around the seeds. You eat the seeds in their entirety. Great for your fiber intake, but gives a good texture to a smoothie. Gives a nice black fleck through like a pineapple smoothie. If you did pineapple coconut water or coconut milk in this stuff, yum. Maybe some frozen banana. That would be really delicious. Added some protein powder if you feel like you need that. So that's the passion fruit. And then, what do we got? We've got a few more ingredients here. I've got actually quite a few. Where am I at for time? Oh, I wanted to do 30 minutes. We're getting close. This guy. Guanábana. Right? Guanábana. Such a stupid joke, but I do it every time. So this is what it looks like on the outside. And I have one of these tree growing in my backyard at my house right now. And this is one of the most famed fruits here in Costa Rica. And they can grow like this big to the point where you hear them fall from a tree and it's like, boom! And then you grieve for a moment because you've lost this amazing huge guayabana. I always say it wrong. So this flesh is super good. It's quite often used in smoothies. That's like the most common use here. Really good with banana, and the flavor is kind of like a combination of banana and pineapple, a little bit of like
Milk.
And milk. Yeah. And I mean, quite often that's what we do here. We put in, not here at Rythmia per se, because we don't use a lot of dairy, but fruit with milk and ice is quite often what we do in Costa Rica in general. And what you have to do and keep in mind here is this flesh. It's just like this yummy jelly, stringy flesh it's like a fibrous texture. I don't know if you can see that. It's sugary. It's so good, and there's all these little black seeds throughout. So in order to use it, if you do buy it, and you can probably quite often you can buy them in pieces like this, wrapped in plastic wrap. Which I don't like plastic wrap, but you can see the fruit. You can buy them like in chunks like this in the international aisles, or I'm sure if you went to an Asian food market, they might have them. I think these are probably a Bali and an Asian thing as well. But you have to keep in mind all these seeds and just pick them out, and then you just save the flesh. And what I do is if I have a big one, I just freeze these chunks of flesh, and then I'll have them to use in smoothies and things like that at a later date. So that is the guanabana. Okay, what's next? Noni. Oh, mamoncino. Stick with the yummy fruit stuff. The yummy fruit stuff. So this is the mamoncino. And we have a whole big basket of it here. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, because they're in season right now, so that's super exciting. This one feels a little bit hard. Yes, okay. So, super funny looking again. I remember seeing these in Asian food markets all the time when I was living in Toronto, and I never bought them. I wasn't very adventurous with my fruits, apparently, because I've been saying that about a lot of things. But this is the mamoncino, like pretty much like a lychee. Another name is rambutan, which is I think what they're probably called in the North Americas. And the way to eat these is super simple. They look like, I just ruined that one. My knife's too sharp. I didn't ruin it. You can use it, but just cut around the outside and rip it open. So I just cut. I didn't go all the way through. This time I did. Oops, not what I want to do. Not when I want to just eat it out of hand. So I didn't go all the way through. So then I can kind of just peel it open. And inside I have this beautiful white jelly-like. It's like the lychee. I'm sure everyone knows what the lychee is. And it's super, super delicious and sweet. And you just eat around a pit that's also on the inside, which you can see. There, it's like a little almond seed in the middle. And it's super tasty. I'm going to give that to you to try. So that's the rambutan, mamoncino, lychee. Give it a try. When you're in Costa Rica around this time, you can see vendors all over the side of the road selling them in like big bags for like nothing. And I love it because I go out running every morning and the side of the road are just littered with the skins. Because everyone's driving in the cars, eating them, tossing them out the window. Eating them and tossing them out the window. Just so funny. You know, when it's mamoncino season. Next up, and this was a last minute addition because we have them growing on the land here, the noni fruit, aka the cheese fruit, aka smells like rotting flesh, disgustingness fruit. I mean, if you could, my fingers are going to smell for the next 24 hours. But this is the noni fruit. And I'm not going to go into too much detail here because there's controversy around it a little bit, but it's said to be a super antioxidant, super rich, healthy food. People take it for many different reasons, quite often in the juice form because the fruit itself is not tasty. So quite often what is done is you take the ripe fruit. This one is fresh off the tree. It's still a little bit green and it's hard. This one is more ripe, and if I pierce it with my knife, I'm going to cut it right. You can see the texture is mushy. That's the sound it makes. Mushy noni fruit, and it stinks. Like, wow, it really stinks. So what we do is we ferment it normally. And what I do is I just throw it into a glass jug, a bunch of them, ram it in, and let the juices all flow out, and then just let it ferment. And what you get is this dark brown juice. Then you can take shots of that, for whatever reason you want to do it. It's supposed to be anti-cancer. It's supposed to be helpful with metabolism, high in antioxidants, a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go into detail. You can Google it, but it's called the noni fruit, a.k.a. the cheese fruit. The cheese fruit, right? That's what we call it. I think that's what they call it. Okay, next up, well, I'm not going to talk much about this because everybody knows. Mangoes. Mangoes are the best. Fresh in Costa Rica, when it's mango season, they just fall from the trees. It's like a waste because so many of them you see them on the side of the road rotting. There's just so many. So many, and mangoes are the best. So mangoes, and I think the last thing we'll touch on here is just my herbs. I have a few herbs here, and we have these sitting in a pot at our bar here at Rythmia for making fresh teas. So this here is something that this is what we call mint. This is our mint here, and it's not the same mint that I would use in Canada. It's super good. Just putting that into some hot water, steeping it, super nice. It's a bit more bitter than, say, regular mint. Well, not regular mint. I guess we would call it spearmint, which here in Costa Rica we call hierba buena, which means like good herb. Not marijuana, good herb. Hierba buena, mint, spearmint. And it's a bit more sweet. But this is also, a type of mint that we have here. And we also have stevia, which is, as you probably know, is an all-natural sweetener. And we have the leaves here, which is really nice to just drop a couple of these and kind of, what's the word? When you're making a cocktail and you're mashing herbs at the bottom. I always forget that word. My mom and I always. But when you're mashing not macerating? Macerate that in some hot water or your tea, then you get your natural sweetness. This would be really, what I would do is I would also take these, dehydrate them, and then pulverize them so then it's like a green powder form of natural sweetener. And this is like 1,000 times sweeter than sugar.
Super.
Wow, so good though. Like so good. I would put this on the salad if I was doing a strawberry with salad with like strawberries and goat cheese, just to finely slice some of this and some balsamic would be really good. And this grows like crazy here. As does one other last ingredient. No, two. Sorry, I got two more. I could go on for hours about this. First thing I'm going to touch on real quickly here is tamarindo. And this is a tamarindo paste. This is the paste along with the seeds in it. And this comes from a native tree. Is it native here? And the tamarindo itself, it's a big brown pod. And I don't have examples of those. I wish I did. But if you Google it, again, it'll come out. Or look it up on the internet. And on the inside of this big long pod is a bunch of seeds, and interspersed with all the seeds is a brown kind of paste-like substance that here it's kind of all balled up because we get this from one of our food suppliers. And all we need to do here is take this and blend it all together. I blend the seeds, or you could do it like a bit of warm water and just kind of rub your hands in to get some of the paste off the seeds and remove some of the seeds. And then we blend it up with water and strain it. We end up with this beautiful tamarind juice. And all I've done here is sweeten it with a bit of agave. You could use honey or anything you want. And it's this sweet, sour, super tasty, really popular local beverage, tamarindo juice. Not to be confused with Tamarindo, which is the nearby town where we are and where I live. Same name, same word, but this is the fruit. That is the town. And the last thing we're going to talk about real briefly is moringa. So I have moringa trees planted here on the land. I didn't want to dig one up just for the sake of this broadcast. But moringa is a miracle tree. I didn't know much about it until a couple of years ago when one of the other hotels I was working at, we discovered we had a bunch more on the land. This is a powder form, and it is a leaf. It is a tree that grows. It's not native from here, but it grows like a weed here. And it's the leaves, the bark, the roots, everything is edible, and it's almost considered like a complete food because it's got plant-based proteins, it's got your carbs. It's a super powered leaf and tree. So if you want to look that up as well, moringa is super great. I'm going to be, once our trees are a little bit bigger, I'm going to start incorporating the leaves into our salad bar and just sprinkle them onto as many things as I can because you can't go wrong with something like that. I don't think we possibly have too much moringa in our life. So moringa powder, available widely in North America now. I think it's become quite popular. So I think that is all I have for today with my ingredients. I hope that this was helpful. If it wasn't, let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's anything you want to hear about or learn about or recipes you want to see for the upcoming weeks. Next week, I'm taking this on the road, I believe, and I'm going to be doing a live from Nosara, Costa Rica, Vegetarian eating on the road. I'm going to be on a little bit of a road trip myself. Still feeling out the content of that exactly, and then the next 2 weeks after that, I'm going to be doing more recipes live. So, it's a pleasure being here. Thank you for joining us. That's Kenneth's arm that you see. He's getting ready to turn this off. And we had so much fun. And next week I probably won't be introducing someone because I won't be in the kitchen here. But thank you so much, guys. Stay in touch, reach out, connect with me on Facebook, on my page. I'm going to share my page here as well, so that if you have any other, questions and stuff, and you can see any of the other recipes that I post on my pages. And I can't wait to see you again next week. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Dr. Jeff. Next Saturday for Jerry. Oh no, next Friday I think Nicole's doing one. Breath work, incredible. Friday afternoon, then Jerry Saturday, and me myself again on Sunday. Love you so much. Mwah. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you next time, guys.